Just doing my thing.
Thank you for tuning in to the Voice of C38. I am Brendan Wyatt. Got the whole crew here, minus Tammy. I don't really count her as much now.
Does she still live here?
She does, but
Wow.
man.
Just doing my thing.
Working at a dispensary is like worse than working at the office, I swear.
Yes, God.
Anywho, say hi, guys.
Aloha, friends.
Brian,
Hello.
Well met.
Matt, and then, gamer dude over there. So, a lot of soccer happened over the last week, if we want to count Wednesday, Saturday.
Well, but how did the Rapids do, though? Oh, wait, is that soccer? What are we calling that?
It didn't look like soccer, especially not in the second half.
That was mean. I'm sorry.
That was pretty mean.
It was one of those, damn it, we went in there and thought we had it playing for a tie. Anyway, we will get to that. Do we care about the Wednesday scores, seeing as kind of...
Who played on Wednesday
So,
again? That was a million years ago.
DC and Atlanta. DC
Seems like it, doesn't
won
it?
2-1. Yeah, it does seem like
DC
forever.
Beat Atlanta.
DC beats Atlanta. Now, hold on. Let's just
How do we
reflect
not,
on
How
that.
are we not supposed to care about that?
Yeah.
Right?
In hindsight.
I mean,
Only thing coming out of DC sounds like John Hark's kid. He's
they've
made
been pimping him since preseason just
Yeah.
because his last name.
right. He's starting to perform actually now. So
Whoa,
it's
that's a whole
worth
other subject.
it's worth pimping him a little bit more, I suppose.
Oh, look at there.
Yeah. All right. Score.
Oh, you people at home can't see. Can
Yeah.
they see that?
No, the people at home can't see that. If they watch the video that gets posted on the website when it's up and ready,
Susan, I expect you to be watching
yeah, there you go. You get to see us in our
in the wild.
element, I suppose.
In your
Yeah.
glory.
Um,
Okay.
Well, in that case, it's a whole
Minnesota
different
3-2
show.
over Portland.
3-2 over Portland. Yeah, Portland's on the road. They suck on the road.
Well, sucks on the road. San Jose got their last win.
All right.
under
That's a good point, Brian. We are the perfect accumulation of the suckiest parts of all the teams of the league.
Same old story.
Oh.
1-1, Seattle and Orlando.
Well, let's not even talk about the next Orlando match.
Yeah.
No, that one was just wheels fell off.
Ay.
And then on Friday, Toronto 2-0 over New England.
Well, Toronto. Yeah. They're on fire.
Yeah, man.
Hey, Canada, fire is that thing that's hot, usually lives in your oven.
Sorry, Canada.
The opposite of outside.
Even in June.
I watched this next
Roughly
game.
45 today, eh?
The Houston-Dallas game was a
Honey, where's
1-1
my
tie.
shorts?
The Texas Derby.
Yeah,
You watched that?
I did watch it.
How
What did you
was it?
expect from that game?
I expected a lot more goals.
Was it
From both
ugly?
teams?
Yeah, from both teams. I mean, it was Wilmer and Oscar. I mean, the two coach alike.
It was
Think
2012
alike.
Rapids bench battle.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of was. It was. It'll lead me. The reason I watched it is, for one, Dallas as the
2013.
rival as they are, I want to see how they're playing, and then two, having Houston this week. Again, this was a really good chance for me to get a look at Houston, and they can create some chances. So we'll get into that, and that's why I was kind of surprised it just finished 1-1. But
I was surprised at that too, and we do have a Texas-sized week.
there
this
was
week.
there was
That
a
is
lot
for
of flopping though, so there was kind of.
Tammy would have been happy.
Yeah, there definitely would have been, an easy, flopper of the week.
Yeah. That's really quiet. How's that?
Bitch about it if you want.
Bitching loud. This is a no bitch fest.
Yeah, so then we go into Saturday. The New York the New York battle, the Red Bulls and NYCFC. NYC got 2, and the Red Bulls had nothing. So that was kind of a big thing for NYC because they typically don't do well against the Red Bulls in RFK. So,
Red Bulls are on a bit of a skid, yo.
well, yeah, you almost forget that they still have Bradley Wright Phillips.
What was that about RFK you just said?
Yeah.
RFK.
They don't do well.
Yeah, wrong stadium.
Oh, okay. I was confused.
Yank Stadium.
Yeah.
Yeah, they played though in Harris.
How many points does New York Red Bulls have?
Oh God, they're not as good as NYCFC. I can pull that up real quick.
I'm just curious.
I have to refresh. The
We-
last time
we
I looked
figured
at the
that from the
standings
2-0
was
score.
last team.
We've
So
got-
who are we looking at? The Red Bulls? They
the
got
Red Bulls,
23
23
points.
points. Yeah.
Okay, so they're significantly above us.
And
It's not
NYC's got
saying
30.
a lot.
I know, unfortunately. Look at that. We had another chance to jump Salt Lake, too.
That won't be the first or the last time.
We can't
We
get
just
past Salt Lake.
Love shooting
That's
ourselves in the foot over and over again.
Yeah.
Well, we like going down in a Hollywood predictable style. And Salt Lake is the perfect one that will end up behind all season.
And the last game against Salt Lake will matter the most. Philly 1, DC nothing. Nee.
Sorry.
Columbus 4, Montreal 1.
Shade surprising. Columbus hadn't been able to do much, but Montreal. How many points does Montreal have?
18.
Now we're in our ballpark. I was
Yeah.
gonna.
Yeah, we are within striking distance of Montreal.
We're coming for you, Le Bleu.
They're tied for Minnesota for third from the bottom.
As long as
Speaking of-
all we have is home games, we're coming for you.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
Away games are our El Guapo, and we need to learn to face our El Guapo.
This is true. Minnesota and Vancouver went to a 2-2 draw. Seems we were briefly talking about Minnesota.
Okay. Vancouver, 21 points. Minnesota, 18. So, yeah, they're in league with each other.
Chicago 4,
They probably are.
Orlando nothing.
Yeah. Next.
Go Chicago.
That's like
We've said it a few times.
That's
Chicago
scary.
getting Schweinsteiger really kind of starting to make an impact. I mean, it's not just him, but it is him.
Yeah, I looked up to he's got, I think, 2 goals with 5 assists since he's been here, which hasn't been that long.
And that's just stats we keep. That's, not so much, key passes or chance created or
Right.
tackles that are made in areas that are necessary and breaking up plays. There's a lot of things that a midfielder does that aren't tracked by stats that a guy like Schweinsteiger brings to the table, and Chicago's seeing the repercussions of that.
what's his name?
Schweinsteiger.
I just like hearing you say his name.
LA 1, Kansas City 2. Yay. Just because LA lost. And then there's that San Jose score that you mentioned, 2-1 over Salt Lake.
And then subsequently, Dom Kinnear and our boy Spenny got whacked right after that. How's that work?
Well,
many
they had
points-
their,
how many-
their replacements were standing right outside the office when they got laid
True.
off.
This is true. With a bus ticket in hand.
Yeah.
How many points does San Jose have?
Oh, shoot. San Jose,
23.
23. There's a
Jesus,
yeah.
man. How did they
It's
get
not worth
23
firing
points?
your two
It's-
head coach or your head coach and assistant coach worth.
They're
But,
6, and 5.
I mean, if that's the bar you set, I mean, Salt Lake already did with their coach.
I mean, they've got 23 points, which is decent, but we spanked them. So
For reference, Toronto in first place has 35. So they're not
Well, and
nearly
that's
as dire as we are.
right, and that's Supporter
no,
Shield.
It's a really dense
it's kind of
table.
where I was.
It's an incredibly dense field this year.
Well, and that's
It's like 1
Supporter
point
Shield.
between.
As far as Western Conference go, Kansas City's at top with just 30 points. With just
Yeah.
30, I mean, we got almost half that, but still,
That's true. The West.
the West is not a runaway cart. Man, I'm having a rough day today.
Calm it down, Tammy.
One of us has to have the blah 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 talk. So. And then, our 2 scores. Yeah.
Disappointment. Reeking of-
I don't think it's really even worth talking about the
Wednesday
Wednesday
really
game, is
bummed
it?
me out.
I mean, that was the biggest bum out ever.
Yeah.
I mean, talk about a buzzkill.
I mean, just if this team could put 90 minutes together in the same match, I think that would go a long way.
How do you guys read that triple sub? That's unusual.
Someone got injured. That's why you got a triple sub. I'm sure he had 2 lined up and then just went up, injury, third sub, and didn't even bother keeping anybody back.
But even still, even if it was a double sub, that's
Still hard to. You don't see that often.
Not often, but that just means he's being a little more aggressive, which is kind of what we wanted anyway. So I'm not complaining. At least he's trying.
Why is that up?
Yeah, wrong preview, yo. And then
what are you talking about?
That's the game we're talking about.
Oh, we're talking about LA.
Oh, that's why it's there.
I just read preview. We're all cared about the visuals, and most of the people actually listen to the audio.
I steal my graphics, and they don't give me post-game graphics.
Well, there's no sense. We're all moving on. In fact, I pretty much completely forgot about this game.
Well,
I'll give you a minute and a half to.
So in the second half, it seemed that the ref affected us a lot, and I didn't watch a replay, and I was watching from 117, so the view isn't great. But it seemed like anytime we started getting a little bit of momentum,
the view isn't great. That's how I play in FIFA.
He was watching from the beer tent where he was watching.
Like it just seemed like we ended up with a lot of calls that kind of stopped us whenever we started going forward or stole a ball or anything. And we complain about the refs, and I try not to, but I feel that he definitely had an effect in that second half.
That's why my dad didn't buy season tickets. It just happens way too often.
I'll tell you what, the ref in Atlanta was worse.
At times. There were times where I was fine with him letting the play go on, but then again, like they said in the commentary, you got to show that yellow card much sooner than you did, because players will start to try to just figure out where the line is.
Yeah, you can't let everything go.
It was a bit rough at times, and I think that I wouldn't blame the ref for the loss against Atlanta. I blame
not at all.
Us sitting back and trying to rest on our laurels that is our defense. It's a good defense, but you also have a back four that hadn't been together.
They might have thrown the 4 of us back out there.
And to sit there and come out at halftime and say, okay, let's go ahead and play for the tie, that was probably not the smartest thing to do. And to tell me that you didn't do that is a straight up lie, because we all saw it. Except for those of us who actually fell asleep, because you could have done that too.
Did you fall asleep?
No, of I know someone who did.
Really? In this household?
Yeah. So it just.
I'm sorry. Of the 2 people we picked up from DU and our rookie players, Ford has stepped up on a great level, and I feel like DeFonte is kind of starting to disappoint. He's let in 2-3 goals in the last couple of games that he was significantly involved.
Took a minute. I was waiting for him.
He's a journeyman defender. You get what you get.
Didn't he kind of slip and fall in that? I don't know if that was the one that went in, but there was a slip and fall from DeFont that.
No, he slid across.
It wasn't a slide. He was trying to change direction, and he just lost his feet.
I noticed a lot of that.
But I think that wasn't. I think that was stopped. Otherwise,
I hate to say it, but if we had the Michaela Williams who played center back against the U.S. when he was playing for TNT, it's not a bad choice to have when you're missing a few guys. But it's a clear difference when Axel's not on the pitch. Watts, because you can see a clear difference.
Any starting back.
So with Ford and DeFont, these guys are good, but you can also see that they're raw and that they're rookies. And when you're in a position that the team is in, you're kind of walking that thin line of, along with injuries, who do we put in to give the team the best chance to win? Or do we start playing these young guys and start grooming it like Pablo got ripped apart for saying 2018? But
that's where it's going.
That's kind of what we have to start accepting as fans, is where is this team going to go? And if we had some consistency in the lineup at times, I think we might be able to easily accept certain scenarios. Because if we, one of the questions that we'll get to later about Dylan Cerna and his minutes, is he on the way out? Is he not? What does his minutes mean? We can kind of discuss that in a little bit, but
Did that come from chat?
it did. And
we actually do have a question from chat.
Who's in chat, by the way?
About-
Let's call him out.
So we got
That could
our.
be embarrassing if there's only one of them.
There's a
just make shit
John,
up.
our cameraman and web designer.
Johnny, long time no
Colin
see.
just showed up. I believe 4 Hub is the rabbi.
Colin, thanks for showing,
yeah,
man. What are you, busy?
So, but
Glenzima's a trooper.
for Hub
Attaboy.
asked, why was
Is he
Williams
in a hurry?
outside and not Miller?
Yeah, I much prefer Eric on the outside.
right, and we've seen what Williams can do on the inside
So
on the
he's not
national
rabbi.
team level. So that clearly to me, that just shows that Pablo's going to do what he wants to do. Whether a guy prefers to be in a certain position or not, he's going to be like, you're the left back. And even though, you played really well as a center back for your country, that doesn't necessarily mean you're good enough to be center back here. That's kind of what it's...
Disrespectful.
Yeah, that's kind of what it's telling the guy,
The Republican Party.
And then they stick him by the toilet to boot.
right?
Word.
Right?
Pablo should have vetoed that whole thing. I mean,
I've
did you
been
see that
corrected.
picture
It's
Brandy
not
Wade posted? That
rabbi,
was just
it's
sad.
Alan.
That was awesome.
That was sad. Mikhail's sad. Sitting on the floor by the toilet.
Poor little fella.
I wonder who the first one was to drop a nice stinky bomb.
I think Berlin could clear a room
Howard.
just by looking at him.
Trust me, with Powers' diet, he can do it.
No. I didn't even think of
We're
that.
on the same diet, and trust me, he's a regular cat.
Get that pun? So, yeah. Looking back at Atlanta, that was really kind of the best. The best part of the game was the first half. I mean, the guys were creating chances. They were
missing
on the
chances.
offense. Well, they were missing chances, and I think once Gat gets one or two,
That Gat run.
man.
Gat run. Why didn't he go for the outside post on that? Why did he hit it center mass?
Is he impressive though? On
because
the
the
ball?
first
Pissed me off.
because the goal he missed in the game before, he went outside post. So this time he's probably tried to recorrect himself. And I think he's just overthinking because in some ways I don't think he's expecting to get in those positions. And then there he is, and
Well,
you
guys
do
want
what
to see
you
the
can,
lineup for
so.
tonight?
Yeah, let's do it.
Then
Let's,
this is
let's-
gonna be
let's-
This is
packed.
open cup.
This is open cup lineup. It gives us 5 minutes.
Burners in goal.
That wait, before you say that, let me say what I was going to say before.
Okay.
I saw on
Oh, no.
Facebook that Gashi might be starting tonight.
Yeah, so you've got Zach in goal.
I thought Nana might too.
I didn't see that. I
Back
saw-
four of Mikel, Axel, Courtney, Dennis Castillo. D mids or the mids, Nana and Sam Hamilton. The 4-2-3-1, by the way. 3 in the mid,
He
Ricky
does
Perez,
4-2-3-1 on a U.S. Open Cup.
Dylan Powers, and Skelton Gashi.
Gashi? He did 4-2-3-1 here in the Open Cup.
And it looks like
Here,
Caleb.
too.
Yeah, Caleb's starting up front.
He's done that on the last Open Cup game too. I think that just might be either based on players that he has, or maybe it's his one way of not completely giving up on it.
When you think about how many games we have in this stretch here, what do you do with your roster? That was kind of one of the questions and things brought up with the Atlanta game and that roster and that starting 11 and who was on the bench and who was available and who made the trip. And then you look at the roster that Brian just read out tonight.
Dylan Cerna's on the bench.
Who do you play for Saturday now? And who do you give
Fair
60, 70 minutes to tonight and hope that they can get a start and go again on Saturday and not get hurt?
You got
Well-
Hairston on Saturday.
I'm
Yeah,
fine with
here's-
Cerna not playing in this match.
Here's your bench. So this is going to be your Saturday probably. Miller, Hairston, your defenders.
Mhm.
Okay, they're going to start.
That's what you want.
Azira, Gat, Cerna.
Okay.
They're going to probably start. Gordon's on the bench. He won't start. Doyle's not there. Obviously, he probably came home. He'll start. Watsy's not there. He'll probably play.
Depending on how fit he is.
Who else am I leaving?
They could, sub out Gashi for Gordon today and save them both for Saturday. Or have them both match ready.
I could see
Do an
that.
early Gordon sub.
Well,
As
or
excited as I am about Gashi, I am more excited about Nana.
Me too.
Well,
I
yeah,
just want
that's
to
the-
watch him play, man.
I just want him to show us
just
something.
That's just the secret sauce he's smothered in because we still don't know anything about him.
I mean, we've seen almost 90 minutes of play from him now, and the dude's already created 1 assist and had multiple key passes in the last game against Atlanta, and he was only in for a brief amount of time.
so did Castillo, though.
Yeah, and well, Castillo. The problem with Castillo is he was pushing that line, and a lot of that part you can kind of get to the reffing a little bit because he has to be tenacious in the position he's in. He's smaller than most. He's got to be aggressive, and was everything smart? Maybe not, but you got to worry when you got guys who are on yellows. So
Yeah, that's true. Which Mikhail and Azura, I think, are on, if I'm not mistaken, right? Do you guys know?
I don't know.
I'm not quite sure.
I think that's right.
I don't know, but we can sacrifice Mikel.
Yeah,
We've got 2 replacements for him.
This is true.
So
Was that
do
our
we even
starting
want to
11?
discuss Atlanta?
Our starting 11 was over when we started talking about
My bad.
Atlanta.
I must have missed that.
No, there was no announcement, but
We
it
talked about
pretty
it.
much timed out. You guys just went into Atlanta before I could say wrap it up.
Just went into a rant.
well, I ran out of scores anyway. So.
Yeah, well, we touched briefly on LA, which I included in the starting 11 since it's not going to be a feature, and everyone's forgotten about it anyway.
I did, and there was bits and pieces of Atlanta that I forgot about. So, yeah.
Any more from chat? Any Atlanta feelings or thoughts?
Yeah. Chat, what say you?
See, I thought from
we'll have
not
to give
from
him
not
half
seeing
a minute to respond.
yeah, no problem. From not seeing the game, but seeing the highlights. From not seeing the game but reading Twitter, I thought it was a complete disaster. But then from seeing the highlights, I thought we put up a pretty good fight.
Is the Atlanta game?
The disaster
Yeah,
was
I
in
mean,
the
it
second
wasn't-
half.
Awful.
Okay, because Twitter makes things so horrible, you know?
Well, that's because our president runs Twitter, and
No,
his
not
perspective goes from there.
talking
Hey,
about-
politics in a soccer cast. Anyway,
Hey,
Hey,
I
hashtag
heard-
not my president.
I heard a rumor that Colin is in our Discord and might be able to jump on mic.
well, if he's got a mic, he can
Oh yeah,
jump in.
he can
Oh,
talk
sure.
about
He
his.
finally shows up. And we
Well,
give him a
I've been
mic.
waiting
No,
to.
he can talk about his article that he wrote.
Yeah, his article, and he had a few questions, which I've been waiting to see if he wanted to ask
Attaboy.
himself. So
Ask himself or ask?
ask. He can ask himself if he wants to answer himself. I don't know how much fun that'll be.
Be
For,
a smart ass.
Hey, maybe Colin's the reason Saeed got hurt because of his glowing praise on Twitter last time.
Let's put it all on him.
Twitter, no, man.
we are-
Mother.
We are exploring the.
Why do you think I guarantee things?
We're exploring the limits of your superstition.
Mother scratcher.
What superstition?
See, I remember Colin tweeting,
There
let's
he
talk
is.
about Saeed. Saeed's been a great welcome change, blah, blah, blah. I
Yeah.
remember all the tweets.
And then
You
and then
are-
he presumed to kill
and
himself.
then he hurt
Curse.
himself. Yeah. Between you and Dave Wagner, one of you did it.
You are black magic. You are the Dark Lord.
Hey, I wrote that article after he got hurt.
No, I was talking just about the Twitter. The three Twitter posts you did after the last match, or after the last match we won.
Then you are reverse seer.
I could look it up, but it would take me some time.
Austin knows what I'm talking about.
Welcome,
Yeah.
Colin,
Anyway.
by the way.
Praising Saeed comes to no
Yeah, hi
good.
guys.
So,
Hi, Colin.
are you caught up?
I don't know. I got in like 5 minutes ago.
That's caught up enough.
Is that what you told her?
That's the same as us. I mean,
If you had to tell her, that's a bad thing. So yeah, we were just kind of briefly kind of discussing Atlanta, wrapping up our thoughts on Atlanta, and any other questions or thoughts that we kind of had, and feel free to give us your input
good thing is we're done playing them.
for this year. Yeah.
Done.
Well, they come here next time.
Move along.
Bleh.
Yes. No.
I don't know if I have a whole lot to say. My brother lives in Atlanta. He's a season ticket holder, and he didn't say nearly as much smack talk to me as I was assuming he would, which to me makes it sound like, yeah, he kind of knows that he's picking on the week one in the team. So
You know what's weird though is my
Oh.
Portland friends are not smack talking either because they're all just sad.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, and I was going to turn it around and say,
it's actually more sad when
if
they
it
don't
was a
smack talk.
good match, you don't really have a lot to say negatively. You know, you can't really shit talk if it was a decent match. And I think
I should talk to him when we played against Portland.
Yeah, right.
It's because we won.
I tried shit talking
And
my
fuck
Portland
Portland.
friend, and he's like, "Yeah, I know, no sport at all."
So yeah,
then just crickets. Come on, man.
He was just like, "You're right, I know."
He didn't want to play ball.
Yeah, yeah. I think I said something like, "Chara's a turd," and he's like, "I know." And they said, "So's Gordon."
Char is. I hate Char.
you almost have to have a turd though on your roster.
You do. Everybody needs a turd.
Yeah, yeah.
Not a
That's what we should do
Dempsey
for
level
next
turd.
week. Let's go down every team and
The turd list.
yeah, make a turd for every team.
Because we don't have any good soccer to talk
A
about.
Mr. Hanky.
I'm not gonna say that.
Next week's challenge for those of us listeners,
Segment of the week.
Who's the Rapids turd?
Twitter, Gordon.
Is it Gordon?
Yeah, I would think it's
You
Gordon.
agree?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, probably.
I don't think he's...
My mom sure as shit would tell you that.
Well, as a Rapid, I don't know if he's established himself as a Rapid turd.
I think he's a turd to the opposing fans.
Yeah.
They think that. I think they
and
know.
some Rapids fans still.
Oh, he just won 2 games for us.
Yeah, there's a lot of
Doesn't
butthurt about Gordon. People need to get it over
Yeah,
it.
it doesn't change things, and I know my mom's not the only one, which
Yeah.
is crazy because I told her, I was like, look, when the guy starts scoring goals at the end of games to give us wins or ties or come from behind, you'll change your mind. And she's starting to a little. It's taken 2 goals for her to at least let me give her shit. Before I couldn't.
It's hard to erase the LA turddom out of them.
Well, he's also, I think he's a local. Like, he's a lifelong local LA guy, isn't he?
L.A. and then San
I
Jose.
think
Like
he's from
he
Southern
was.
Cal, yeah.
He's
He's,
a
like,
California
Born
guy.
in that
Yeah.
area.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's like generational.
And baseball was his thing first. Soccer was not his first love.
I can relate.
So he's a Donovan, too.
Oh,
Well, I didn't play
jeez.
because I liked it. I was playing because I'm good at it.
Yeah, it just happened to fall in my lap. It was my second choice. I couldn't play baseball.
How can I ruin my reputation?
A
Oh,
lot
I
of-
know. I'll get back out of retirement. That'll be easy.
I can think of a lot of people whose
Speaking of
first
which, we
choices
forgot to mention last week the San Diego thing.
Oh,
I
yeah.
forgot to hit you up with that.
They got it. They got themselves a NASL team.
It's a
That was
start.
just awarded today, wasn't it? Or did you know about it before?
Is it? Oh, I didn't know about that. I was talking
Yeah.
about them
Today they were.
basically getting shut out of MLS.
I did not see that, but they were awarded an NASL team today.
I wonder
for
if that
all that
was
that matters.
Yeah. Kind of a little.
Let's see how you do with this team first, and
Right.
then we'll discuss.
Prove you can draw a crowd, because I think that's the big deal
Yeah.
with San Diego is, like I've said, Mexicans and Euro or EPL snobs. That's what you got in San Diego.
Yeah, you're right. It's
There's a
probably
lot of EPL snobs, a lot of anti-MLS.
You have that
Americans.
here. I mean, even here in Colorado, you get it. I mean,
Yep.
it's.
true.
That's
Lot of
why I've
snobs.
always thought that this team does need to kind of reach for the stars when it comes to a Mexican international.
a lot of snobs around.
Anyway, yeah. Well, Colin, you had a few questions.
Sorry,
let's
yeah.
let's get to
Didn't mean to derail, Colin. Sorry, dude.
let's get to those before
That's
we
all
start
right.
talking about this.
See here, I
weekend.
feel like I'm the one derailing you guys coming in so late to this.
Not at all, man. We
I
were
don't know what I've missed.
looking for some filler. But you missed all the boring stuff.
You missed the recap of the other league games.
Yeah. And we haven't talked about the game this weekend yet.
Brendan talking glowingly about DC United
Yeah, I mean, love me some Ian
because he freaking loves them.
But you made it in time for the Harry Potter quiz.
Yes.
Oh yeah, you're going down, sucker.
Oh, this is gonna be fun.
Sounds
Well,
like he's ready for the quiz instead of his own question.
Yeah, let's call that
doesn't always
halftime.
suck. Dude, does he?
I've got questions for you guys.
Lay them on us.
All right, you might have been talking about this a little bit ago, but we've seen a lot more minutes from Cerna. Do you think that means he's not leaving, or do you think Pablo's trying to be like, look at how great he is, give us more money?
We already talked about that. God damn it, get in the game.
Jesus.
This is what happens. I told you
Will you
guys.
mute him?
No one to blame but
Hey, show
yourself.
up
at
for
this
the
point.
show.
Who invited him on
Yeah.
mic? Jesus Christ.
Both.
Seriously.
It's both.
Care to share?
Yeah, well,
Because you have.
I still think he's got a foot out the door, and,
You do?
and I'm not necessarily sure what the deal is, but I put myself in his shoes, and if I was a player, I'd want to be somewhere where I'm getting minutes. And just because I played 2 out of the last 3 games doesn't necessarily change my mind about where I want to be. Because I'd lose my spot the second Gashy's healthy.
Yeah, could be.
You know, so it's kind of one of the. It's different if you're coming off the bench every week too.
Yeah.
I mean, he is still young, but I think it's kind of one of those situations where if he's getting minutes and he's doing well, and he is kind of maybe on that block, it's a good thing that he's playing for both the club and for him.
Sure.
So let it keep coming, whether he stays with us or not. I'm prepared for him to go. And nothing I don't think is going to change my mind until next season. And even then,
Until the
who
end
knows?
of July goes in, he's still here.
Yeah, I mean, then I'll be happy for the rest of this season.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
His deal goes through.
So-
I want to say he re-upped beginning of last year for a 2-year deal.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I can't remember.
But yeah, I've told myself that be prepared for Dill to go in July. And if he doesn't, then great. We got him, and it's a great asset because he's going to be an asset for whoever he's with. The kid just wants to play, and he's good. I mean, think about that one chance that he had that hit the crossbar.
My wife says I'm an ass.
An ass? Ed?
Oh, yeah.
That's like a girl ass.
Yeah, that's true. Female. Yeah,
Is that a set of asses?
Like Smurfette. He's an ass.
There's
Exactly.
a lot of asses
exactly.
in this room in general.
You
but-
can't tell because he's sitting down, but it's a very feminine ass.
Yeah, he scored, and
And
let's face it, he should have
Look
scored.
at those.
He hammered off that crossbar, and I went, oh!
As soon as it left his foot, I'm like, here it goes, here it goes, here it goes. Tink! Oh!
But yeah, he's feeling it. I like that. He's not afraid to let it rip. And he's not letting the situation or lack of a situation dictate that.
It's not bothering his play, that's for sure. Anybody else have thoughts on that, or am I the only one?
I was trying to find contract deal. I can't tell you when he resigned.
Yeah, that's all right. No big deal. I'm just curious.
Where's Google when you need it?
I am Googling, but
Siri, Dylan Cerner's contract.
Didn't work. Next.
sorry, I can't allow that, Brian.
Ooh, I have a masculine Siri, by the way.
It can be a
We
guy.
found Cerna
I just heard
as
some chick had a
fan
Siri
porn
guy.
site.
Really?
My response was gross. You can make him a guy?
Ugh.
Yeah.
I don't like Siri guy.
What's a dude telling him what to do?
Chicks.
I got a boss for that.
I won't say it.
This article's from 2013.
Anywho, Colin, you
I'm
still
without
around?
help.
What's up?
Colin's got some questions still, I thought.
Well, let's go.
You said
Chop,
question,
chop.
Right? Not just one question.
Place
Make it
to
an
be.
original one this time.
Well, this is probably going to start looking to the next week here. But how do you guys balance the starting lineup for the games on the 1st and 4th?
Balls to the wall.
Well, we kind of did talk about the first based on what we got going tonight. But
Yeah.
the 4th, that's your big money sellout gate. Well, the first is too. You want to show big on both. They got fireworks.
That's why you got fireworks on
yeah,
both
but
nights.
they have some fucking country singer band too after the 4th.
Oh,
So that's
you're
your
right.
biggest. You really want to have your A
Yeah,
squad
but is
out
he
on
a
the-
legit
I
worth it,
don't
or is
know
it like a
country.
Flowbots
No.
kind of like?
I couldn't tell you
I
a
think
country singer is famous or not.
all
I
the
hear a name.
Same.
all the fans just stay around for the fireworks and to listen to him. That way, I get my ass out of there.
Brian, can you please update us on country music?
You are really barking up the wrong tree. What
Reg-
what country are you
reggae.
talking about? Jamaica.
Jamaica,
Yeah, I can help with that.
What's the latest from that big fat Hawaiian guy? Still dead? But no, the 4th of July from a marketing standpoint is your big deal every single year. And someday it's going to be on a weekend again. You want to keep the momentum going.
Do you remember
Marketing-wise,
last year
you
when we
wanna
tied
stand
up
out.
4th of July?
We tied Portland.
Howard came in.
That's right.
Do you remember in 2015 when we actually won a game on the 4th of July against Vancouver?
It's one of the
So
few
that was our
stats
last
we are
4th of July
winning
win.
on
We
the
didn't
4th of
win.
July.
We didn't win much in 2015. We did win on the 4th of July.
And we actually have a really good record on the 4th of July.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
I have something deep in Facebook about that.
Nice.
4th of July record. Even in our suckiest years, we usually do
Yeah.
well on that day.
Yeah, it's the one day we seem to take more serious than everything else. So,
I don't
taking
know, that's
that
gonna be-
lineup seriously, I think half of that lineup might be some of that lineup tonight.
Yeah. I think
Gashi, Nana.
I think we got to go full side on the 4th and then tinker a little with Saturdays.
So between tonight and tomorrow, kind of rest certain key guys, and then 3 days later.
I mean, you'll have Doyle back, you'll have Watts back for Saturday, because I don't think they sit 2 in a row. Watts,
what if he's still not right?
well, I think he made the trip to Atlanta. I don't know if he's come home already, but
I feel that
maybe not.
with these 2 games at home, you should really just go for it on both games and deal
Players
with
be
the fact that they're
damned.
going to be tired
Yep.
out that second game.
I'm not worried about tired. I'm worried
go-
about
well,
hurt.
you're professional. You're a
That's why
professional
I'm
sports
okay
player.
with Cerna not
Go.
playing tonight. I don't want him playing in Dallas. I don't care if it's Open Cup or regular.
It's only 200 degrees in Dallas right now.
The only time I want him playing in
But-
Dallas is if
but-
he's wearing Dallas colors. And that's still not anything I want to see.
Yeah, I was gonna say, wait, well,
It's not anything I want to see. I'm just saying in general. But yeah. Colin, what else you got?
Well, Colin, do you have an answer to that question?
Well, to answer the
Yeah, what say
lineup
you?
question, I don't know. I
I
feel like
know.
we're going to end up going. We're going to put up a stronger lineup against Seattle, but I'm not necessarily sure I want to.
It's a shitty time to be Pablo. I mean, 3 games
Yeah.
three games in a week when you really don't want 3 games in a week.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Seriously.
He's probably thinking, "Damned if I do, damned if I don't." So
exactly. I mean, think about that: 7 games in 21 days. That's redonkulous. I mean, that's
Plus, I'm sure he's got the marketing department breathing down his back. Like, we're gonna sell out the 4th, right? We're gonna keep because we got a contract to keep the 4th here.
yeah, you're right.
We got to look. They're looking to next year every time.
And they probably want to, set up the C38 tailgate with a player out there,
Just saying that might be a good idea.
Well, Saeed.
I'm glad you could laugh at
They're
that.
awesome.
Saeed would draw a crowd at the tailgate.
Heck yeah.
So would Burling, but he's been there like 2-3 times already.
That's right, he was wearing his blazer and
That
looking
He had
good.
that whole
that
get up.
eyesore of a blazer. Who did?
That was not an eyesore. That was
kidding me?
rocking,
Oh,
man.
man.
It was like I was standing 100 feet away, so it hurt my eyes a lot more than yours.
Calm
I
it
think.
down, old man.
That was like Bushwood Country Club,
Yeah,
sir.
man.
And I never slice.
What those kids are wearing these days. It just makes my eyes bleed.
Anything else?
I only see you guys in soccer jerseys, so I'd probably be appalled to see Austin on a regular work day.
Hey, you see me? I come dressed in
I
civvies.
That's true.
basically wear soccer jerseys on the regular.
Until we started casting with video, Brian was in Speedo.
Yep.
Yeah,
Nipple pasties.
Banana hammock. Bright yellow.
We totally cut Colin off
Or
again.
the rainbow one. I always like the rainbow run.
Pride Week, baby.
Something about a rainbow over here. All right, Colin,
Yeah.
hit it up.
The one thing I'm looking forward to on Saturday is that Houston does have, admittedly, a terrible away record.
yes they do.
As bad as ours?
Do you wanna
Wait,
get
are they
into-
0-7?
Well,
Do you want to get into?
no one is as bad as us, sadly.
They have a.
They're
phen-
0-6-2.
But they have a
haven't
phenomenal
won
home
either.
record, though.
Yeah.
They do have a phenomenal home
Yeah.
record.
Houston is doing exactly what we said they would do at the beginning of the season. They're this year's Rapids.
It's true. It's true. In fact, we're identical. We're a mirror image of what they were.
Are they
last
this
year.
year's 2016 Rapids or 2015 Rapids?
2016.
2016. Which means
We
that
had a good road record, though, relatively speaking.
this is true. We were never 0-6. 0-6
Oh,
and
and
2
7.
technically. No, I'm talking about Houston. They're 0-6 and 2 technically right now as far as away goes. But that just means that they're vulnerable. They're weak. They're not as strong as they look in the standings.
Damn, calling them out.
So we have an opportunity to regain home momentum, especially with it being the first of two at home.
So you're saying we could beat them and not have to come from behind?
Yes, but does that mean it's going to happen? The come from behind part is almost kind of what we do now, right?
Oh, I'm so sick.
No, let's not make that our thing now.
Not that I don't want that. I definitely don't want that.
Because that's still fundamentally our problem of eking out a win at the last minute.
Absolutely.
Which is
it
terrible,
definitely is. And
terrible for my health.
I know. I don't necessarily need to have a stroke, a heart attack, or an aneurysm watching these guys. Sometimes I feel like it could happen, though.
Combination of all three.
Paramedics to section 126.
It's Brendan.
Yeah.
Leave him.
So there was a question I swear Colin had. Or are we done? Yes, no?
He wants the Harry Potter
asked a
quiz.
couple.
Yeah, let's.
Did he have more?
Well, if he's done, we're 40 minutes in. We can get to the Harry Potter stuff.
Because this is also a Harry Potter cast.
Did we even explain that on, Mike?
20 years.
We just now
There you
did.
go.
Basically to the day since Philosopher's Stone or Sorcerer's Stone in America, because apparently we're too stupid to understand what a philosopher is. 20 years to the day today. So, and
Come at
you
us,
know, we love
Swan.
Harry Potter. So I'll ask some questions. Let's see if you guys know some answers.
Okay.
Ready for this?
Of course.
Which
Wait, are these
Hogwarts
specific to the first book?
Just on Philosopher's Stone.
No, these aren't just on Philosopher's Stone. They're
Shit.
just kind of in general. Most of them do have to do with Philosopher's Stone.
Okay.
I'm the
So,
least
we'll-
versed here.
Did you put your name in the goblet of fire?
And go.
Oh, sorry.
Which Hogwarts houses are located in Castle Towers?
Gryffindor and
Gryffindor and
Ravenclaw.
Ravenclaw.
Yeah.
Wow, look, Colin just owned you.
I was going to say all of them.
No.
I didn't know.
Matt just said yes.
I knew Hufflepuff wasn't for sure. Wasn't quite sure
So
on the other.
which common room, other than Gryffindor's, has Harry Potter been invited to?
Ravenclaw?
Slytherin, but it was a trap. It's a trap.
Man, Colin is kicking all of your asses.
I said that, but you were talking over me.
Oh, sure you did.
Well, our house is getting some love. That's 2 Ravenclaws in a row.
That's because Austin's reading it.
Oh, so I should just
Well,
think
it's
Ravenclaw
the
for
Ravenclaw
everything?
book, guys. Come on. It's,
Oh, so it's Ravenclaw for
kind of
everything.
been a little
Exactly.
bit for Ravenclaw.
Oh, I just
But-
ruined it. We got 8 more questions and they're all Ravenclaw.
The Sorting Hat had a difficult time placing Hermione and Neville. If the Sorting Hat had made the different decision, in which
Ravenclaw.
house would Hermione
Ravenclaw.
and Neville be put in?
Ravenclaw.
That is one of the answers.
Hermione would have gone to Ravenclaw, and Neville
Neville
probably
would've
would have gone to
Hufflepuff.
Hufflepuff.
Hufflepuff, yeah.
Wow.
But Hermione was a four-way hat stall, so you can't really make that call.
So, yeah.
What?
She was a
Awesome.
two-way hat stall.
She was a four-way hat stall. Do your do
forward.
your research.
So, bonus points, Brian.
Yes.
Who is the other character that had a hat stall from Gryffindor?
From Gryffindor.
Well, besides
Wasn't
Harry
in
Potter?
here.
It was Minerva McGonagall,
Harry
wasn't
Potter wasn't. It was McGonagall. And there was another teacher that had a hat stall that's currently teaching as well.
it? Flitwick.
Currently teaching. What the hell does that mean?
That means that was something that only those two who've read the most current book would know.
Brian, how old were you 20 years ago?
I know, right? I know how old I was.
Older than 11.
All right. So here's a Hufflepuff question.
I was
Who
in
is
high
the
school
head of
when this
Hufflepuff House?
Say that again.
Who's the head of Hufflepuff?
No.
Sprout.
Yeah,
Professor Sprout.
Yeah.
Sprout. Colin was wrong.
You lose points for that.
What is the name of a Rowena Ravenclaw's daughter?
Helena.
I was going to say that, but I had a
Coming
mouthful
back.
of rum punch. I know my house.
Ooh, I like your stuff.
Yeah.
Good style today.
Yeah, today is rum punch
Which
today.
Hogwarts student is a descendant of Salazar Slytherin?
Ooh, Harry Potter.
No.
Well,
Spoiler
we're going with
alert.
Voldemort.
You are correct, but what was his former name?
Tom Riddle.
Tom
Marvolo
Marvolo Riddle.
Who is the Hufflepuff house ghost?
The
John
Fat Friar.
Cleese. No, not John Cleese. John Cleese is the
The headless
Friar?
guy, headless Nick.
Fat Friar.
nearly headless Nick. That's
Fat
John Cleese in the
Friar.
movie.
Yeah.
Nearly headless. How can you be nearly headless?
This is how.
I know my John Cleese. Nothing else.
Right. So we should have a Monty Python.
Ooh, Matt would crush
Just the
it.
movies, not the
Oh,
series.
man.
Okay.
Professor
Meaning Life was
Dumbledore
on the other day.
awarded a significant number of house points to Harry, Ron, and Neville.
Mhm.
After they helped to defeat Professor Quirrell, how many points did Neville receive?
10.
10.
Hey, there we go. That was a tie.
I heard Brian first.
I,
Unless there's a
just a split second, I think, but unless there's a delay with Colin. But
Yeah.
that was pretty dang close.
There's probably a delay with Colin. For mine, it was exactly the same.
Whatever.
Giving Colin
you owe
the
him money or
5-second
something?
delay, right?
Wait, didn't Austin
What
invite Colin to
jewel?
mic up?
That was me, but
It's got
yeah.
a plant.
What jewels fill the Ravenclaw house point hourglass?
It's
The
a
family
Sapphires.
I was gonna say
Blues.
Sapphire,
Hey,
yeah.
Colin got it.
you say family.
Family.
Fucker's fast, man, but I knew it.
All right, this one's kind of easy. For the final question, historically, which
Ravenclaw.
houses are firm rivals?
Slytherin, Gryffindor.
Slytherin. That doesn't even count.
Right. Yeah, that's
There we
kind of
go.
like.
I know. I told you it's super
Do you know-
simple.
And it became a joke every time we saw
Hufflepuff
like.
and nobody, because nobody cares about
Right.
Hufflepuff.
Nobody,
And
nobody
then,
cares
then,
about
then
Hufflepuff.
Ravenclaw's the third wheel. But every time we saw someone wearing a Gryffindor shirt, walking with their significant other wearing a Slytherin shirt, I always thought that was kind of funny.
You're just chuckling.
I was like, really?
Too bad they're both virgins.
Yeah.
That could have been exciting for them.
Yep.
Oh, man. Hey,
Yeah.
I'll have you know the Millers are huge Harry Potter fans, so they would have loved to have gotten in on this.
Too bad they're virgins.
It's not
Susan,
quite possible.
Susan, that was Matt, by the way. That had nothing to do with me.
Oh man.
Terrible.
So
You should be ashamed.
do we want to talk pregame for the next two sets?
Really? I thought we kind of just did, and then we went to Harry Potter, and we were going to close it out. But yeah, we can still talk more.
We didn't really talk actual pregame though. We kind of just talked lineup, which I guess is the same thing. But do you have any other?
we kind of talked about Houston's strength as well.
Yeah, I did kind of spit off a little bit. It's playing Houston is playing Oscar, and I would like to think that Pablo is smart enough to know that, and they're going to come at us. So this is one of those games where I feel like offense is the best defense. Come out like they did in the first half against Atlanta, and regardless of the score at halftime, they need to come back out and continue to finish their job. I don't think that the halftime score has anything to do with how they should produce in the second half. I think the mentality should be the same from kickoff to the final whistle. That's kind of where I'm looking at it. I expect a big crowd because it's a Saturday game, and it is leading up to July 4th.
And it's not going to be hot as hell.
So I definitely,
Sunday will be, so get out while you can.
I expect us, the fans, to
Step your game up.
and just make sure that we bring our A game and be the 12th man, because I think we're going to have to make sure that we show this team we're behind them.
And I
show
want to see, especially on the 4th, us getting the rest of the stadium energized. Because in truth, that's what our job is as a supporters culture.
Show up for Gashi and Nana. I mean,
Yeah.
for no other reason. They've got those two probably on Saturday.
Are they doing any
And
special tifos? this weekend.
And
They
seeing as the
are
4th is
doing
a
one on July
Tuesday,
4th.
do we
I don't
cast
believe
Wednesday?
One on July 1st.
I guess I'm off Wednesday, so we may as well cast Wednesday.
All right, so we can do a post
Hungover
cast
cast.
Wednesday. Yeah,
Yep.
the hangover cast, the keg cast,
The kegged cast.
the kegged cast. There we go. So we'll have plenty to talk about next week. We might as well talk Seattle briefly then too, if there's any thoughts for that.
Well, I didn't even think about Seattle.
Me either.
I should have.
But Colin did mention it. You know,
No, he's right. I should have.
Come
because
on,
I
they're
didn't
not
realize
DC.
it was Tuesday.
I hate
They
Seattle.
exist.
they aren't DC, but it is the July 4th game, and he's right. You know, who do you expect to see as your lineup? And I couldn't even begin to think about it without seeing the July 1st lineup, because I think that really kind of will tell us what to expect for July 4th. But I don't think the mentality should change for either game. I think 6 points is all that they should want.
You're right, because we don't have.
I think you should
can't
push your
afford-
team. I think you should start everybody on the 1st. And
Well, you can only start
everybody you
11
can
guys,
on the
dude.
4th. Well, yeah, but your starting lineup. Start your starting lineup on the 11th.
Who's your starting lineup, though?
And if people
Okay,
start,
you can't
That-
say
that's the
anything
whole
about a starting
question.
lineup knowing how broken our team is right now.
yeah, but we're getting some of those starters back. You got Gashi coming back. You got Nana. I would start both of them. I would, if Watts is healthy, I'd start him.
Yeah,
Put
and there you
Schubert
just went.
in. Put
If
Miller,
Watts is
put
healthy.
Williams.
If.
Okay, so Watts is the only real true question mark we got. But other than that, and is this your Seattle lineup you're talking about?
Both. I would start.
You can't.
Your
No,
starting lineup for both.
it's for
And
one.
then I would sub early on Seattle if people get tired.
First of all, you know that Pablo will never do that, and for two, they're
No,
3 days
I'm not
apart.
saying what
You
Pablo
can't.
is going to do. I'm saying what you should do.
Even the quote unquote, even the best managers in the world aren't going to start the same 11 3 days apart. So you have to expect 3 to 4 changes in general. I wouldn't expect a garage sale, but there would be, I would think, at least 3 to 4 changes. Your veterans, so to speak. So you make sure that your youth guys or your younger guys, your Dylan Cernas and Eric Millers.
If I was looking at that, I would start Doyle against Houston and then rest him against Seattle, because I think we have decent enough backups to put in to cover for him.
With Calvert starting tonight, and if you say Doyle starts against Houston, then we should expect Gordo to start against Seattle.
Yep.
All right.
And I'm okay with that.
Okay.
I don't want to see him start.
I knew there was going to be at least somebody that wasn't happy with that. And
Period.
I'm kind of almost on
Did
the
you just
same.
say you're on your period? Is that what Brian just said?
No, but I'm almost paddling the same boat as Brian with Gordon, because we all know it. He produces when he comes off the bench. So to have him start, even though he does things very much like Doyle, does that mean Doyle should be more productive coming off the bench? I mean, they are close to the same player, but
No, hard disagree. That's another podcast.
no, it's not. Let's fight it out.
No, I don't have time for that.
Oh, damn it!
Not even close to the same player.
I knew
The
I would.
time nor the energy.
I didn't
for
think
that.
I'd get you both, but I knew I was going to get one of you roused.
It's
up.
too warm in this room. I can't go.
He's taking off his pants right now.
Yep.
You're gonna see the man talk.
It's gonna be a speedo on speedo battle.
I'll get the baby oil.
Stay tuned. Follow us on Twitch.
This isn't WWA or
Hey,
WWF.
speaking of that, follow us everywhere. We're all over the place. So.
And our website hopefully should be up and running completely.
Oh yeah, John, are you still there?
He may or may not be. I don't know, but we'll get all of our stuff tonight, tomorrow. We should be good to go by this weekend. We'll be pumping it out a lot more next week. But final thoughts, guys, as we wrap this up with the next 2 games here at home.
Don't
I
fuck
want,
up.
want fireworks on the field.
Fireworks on the field. Protect the dick.
I don't care about
6
the Open
points.
Cup, so let this one go.
Don't fuck it up.
Yeah.
I want.
It's a decent.
Wait.
lineup.
Do Do not care to the point you'll let Dallas repeat.
Absolutely. I don't give a shit.
Okay, there you go.
I want
You
those
break
two
Pereira's
games.
leg. That's all I care about.
The Rapids have not made it past this round in over a
I
decade.
wonder how you could get that done.
You dump a frozen bucket of Gatorade on him.
Speaking of breaking stuff, Figueroa is starting tonight for them. Who knows what that guy will throw out.
See, that's why I'm glad Cerna's not on the starting lineup.
Yeah, true.
Anyway,
Well,
Colin, final thoughts?
I don't know. I'm pretty sure I'm just going to end up repeating what you guys have said already.
Don't fuck it up.
Protect the dick.
Seriously, don't fuck it up.
Oh, seriously though. Seriously,
No,
though.
for cereal.
All joking aside, don't fuck it up.
We like to have a lot
if
of fun
they
on this podcast,
lose
but
both games,
really,
we're going to become a Harry Potter podcast.
Deal.
hey, there's 4 of us and 4
If we win
houses.
both
Yeah, I
games,
was gonna say,
well,
there's no
pretty good chance
arguments.
that would happen.
The voice of C38 is gone Harry Potter. It's all on the Rapids. Well, okay then. Any last thoughts, guys?
How long until C38 finds out and stops paying the bills?
Nah. We'll just have to start promoting ourselves.
I'm not really going home. Not really.
See you guys on Saturday and Tuesday.
Mischief managed.